Now, I want to talk more about my experience and what it was like because I did, in fact, go alone. My dog wants to give me a smooch. Um, it's a little over. He is attaching himself to my hair. Um, and so I decided to go alone, but you quickly make friends. And people are very open and willing to be in. I'm going to move him because I think it's more comfortable this way for me. Better for you? Yeah. You can be on the leg. There we go. People are very open to conversation. People that are going to the Camino are, for the most part, okay, obviously I can't talk for everybody, but they're open-minded people and they want to hear you and they want to share. So, for example, my first day, I woke up really early because I wanted to walk very slow and I wanted to give myself time if I got lost or didn't know where I was going. And I wanted to beat the sun because, like, I went during summer. So, a big thing for me was Paps. What do you want to say? Give me a smooch? Okay. Stay here, baby. Okay. And so I, walked, and there are people who passed me. Actually, I hope that I can get some of these people up to talk because I would just love to hear their experience. But I remember one person I was walking, and I'm kind of a person who, like, I'm in la la land and just kind of like thinking and praying, and I feel like I'm somewhere like out in the ether sometimes. And I remember I'm walking and I'm looking, and I'm like, wow, this place is so beautiful. Like the view from here, like, oh my gosh, like literally, okay, that's. That is like my internal monologue. And then I was taking a picture and then I heard, hey, and I was like, ah! And it was, and it just like brought me back to reality. And I was like, oh, hi, good morning. And then they were like, hey, where are you going? I'm like, oh, going, and they were like, good luck on the Buen Camino. That's what you hear a lot. Buen Camino, Buen Camino. And, which means good walk or like good path. And you tell them, good Camino, good path. And so I'm like, oh, Buen Camino. And and I was like, where are you from? Because they were speaking with like an American but like Californian accent. And then they were like, California. I was like, oh my gosh. And they ended up being from somewhere very close to where I grew up. And and we just did that a little bit because they were walking very fast and I was behind. I was like, all right, well, I'll see you. Buen Camino. And then people talked to me, and there's people I met arriving at St. Jean. I'll get more into like the day by day, what that kind of looked like, the portions of the days later. But people are friendly and they want to talk and they want to help. So there are people who I would consider them experts of the Camino. They've done it like 10 times. There are people who live in Europe, especially in Spain, who do it once a year. Who like that is something that they accomplish. Or there are a lot of people who are retired and this is something they do, like to make sure that they're keeping themselves fit and they're keeping themselves like in good condition. It's something they do, which is very commendable because I am, in my 20s, late 20s, but some of these people were like strong, and I'm like, you're who I want to be when I grow up. And they do it, and it's like a mental thing and a physical thing, and they do it, and they'll tell you do this and do that and be careful and blah blah blah. And like, and I have my Camino dad. I hope I can get him on here. He's a bit of a grump, so we'll see, but he was very key to my success in the beginning. And at the end, honestly, everything he taught me, I ended up teaching other people, so it's pretty incredible. And so I remember just little by little, you start talking to people. And I was very much like, I want to be alone. I want this experience to be alone. I knew I was going to meet people, but I was very much like, especially the first 2 days, I was like, but then I realized like you just got to give in because you're going to keep seeing the same people. So you might as well just like create a relationship. And they really do care. They're like, hey, are you okay? Are you doing good? Oh, it's wonderful. Buen Camino. And then we all, a lot of us would go to Mass. So people started recognizing for Mass because I would always go up and sing or ask if I can read when I would go to the churches, because I like to participate because I felt, I made it and I wanted to thank God and be a part of that celebration in heaven that we are, quite literally living in when we go to Mass. So you make friends. And for the most part, in the beginning, people are keeping the pace. And then some people start to jump and they do 40 and they do 50 or they do 30. And some people, they met during that and they keep going and they do that together. And I did make a group of people that I kind of stayed with, and then some that did go ahead of me. But when we got to Santiago, they ended up being back there and we spent that time together. And I wonder if you can hear him snoring because he is close to the mic, which will be very funny if you can. But I don't mind. I think it'll add a bit of ASMR to this. But so you meet people because people are so kind. And I mean, I saw groups form. For example, someone that I met on the first day, we talked for hours. We got to Roncesvalles together. And they were such a kind person. I really enjoyed talking to them. But then they were invited to kind of join a group, and I told them, like, I think you should go, because I'm not like, even then, even now, I'm not big on like wanting to stick myself to a group, but I do think that's very good because then you have a community, and that they were like a very strong community. They really were looking out for each other and being patient with one another and helping each other for the people who had injuries, or I think it was an incredible experience for them. I hope to be able to talk to a couple people from that group to kind of understand what that was like, because that's nothing to do with my experience. I was very much I would see people when I would go to the town, and I'm very friendly and I talk to everybody, and if someone wants to talk to me, I take the time, and if they have any questions, I'm open to it. But I really, really value my time alone, so I would leave usually very early, so that I knew that I was guaranteed like an hour or two alone, to have that time to pray or to read the readings of the day, like from the Catholic Church. That was something I was really important for me to try to do, so I did. And I tried to pray, and then sometimes I would like make videos on my Instagram of like my thoughts. I did that more in the beginning because then I was just really tired. But it was just my thoughts, or I would just think for myself, and I would pray and I would talk. And the problem is when you get near the end part, there's so many people, it's like hard to get time alone. But in the first and middle part, if you leave early, you do in fact get time alone. And I really value that time because I feel like it's almost like the secret place for me and God, because it's like just me and him and the trees, or me and him and the openness. It's me and him in the sky. It's me and him and his creation. And I really feel like it's very personal. And that's maybe just a me thing. I think you can see Christ through others, and I think God is moving there even if you're not religious. I truly believe that, and I will talk more about that. And there are miracles happening, daily miracles, and it is a beautiful, beautiful thing, and I will talk about that. But you can do it alone and find a healthy balance of time alone and time as a group. And if you're someone who you go alone and you really like that community aspect, it is available there for you. People are wanting to find community. They're wanting to find connection. I think it's a deep desire. I think as humans, we're deeply desiring that, but it's also a big part of the Camino. I'm not sure if you can hear the sirens, but there's something that I like. It's like it comes from the Catholic Church, but I think they also say it in other things. Like I thought in a place that wasn't Catholic. I can't remember, but it's this whole thing. It's like in the world, there's destruction, there's depression, there's solitude, there's this, like all the things, right? There's war, but in the Camino, we're showing what community should originally be, what society was meant to be, like that care that you have for one another, or the patience, or the kindness. And people are so kind, and they're trying to help you, and they want to help you. And like, I like that because I'm a very, like, I want to help you and this and that. But when you're like that in certain places, people feel very uncomfortable because I think they think there's an agenda to your kindness, and or something, and like it makes me feel uncomfortable because like then I don't know what to do, because my natural instinct is to want to be kind and want to help and like want to listen, and like I just want to do that naturally. I don't want to be Pab's going. I just want to be able to do that. I don't want to have to be like, oh, I need to think about that, or I can and can't do that. So it creates that kind of little bubble where people are so kind and loving, and you get to feel loved and seen. And I think I don't know, maybe you can, but because of the physical strain and the mental strain, at some point I think you can no longer be performative. You just have to be who you are. Your laugh is coming out how your laugh should always have come out. You are just you're free. And I love that because for me, I am always me, and it is not always received well. I do not expect to be received well, but I always have fought, and I've always stayed true to myself because I believe that's really important. And there are certain times in my life where I maybe am not, I don't agree with maybe what that version of me was doing now, but in that time I was trying to be me, and I was trying to discover myself and trying to do these things. So I have to respect her, and I have to love her, that version of myself. But it's a constant of me just trying to be who I am, and I have always had like a concrete personality. I mean, with the age and maturity, I'm growing and I'm molding and I'm becoming softer and all these things, but who I am is who I am. And I think certain shields and stuff like that I've had, and so maybe I appeared more aggressive or more this or more that or more everything, because that was the way I was protecting myself. But there was always a core that was truly who I am, and I believe it's truly who I still am. And the Camino takes you there if you're someone who maybe struggles with that, because so many people, I think you have to just like give up and let go and be you, because you're tired and you didn't sleep that much, and we're still walking, and there's still 12 kilometers, or there's 16 kilometers left, or there's 20, and so whatever, sometimes you're irritated and sometimes you say things, and people are patient with you. And that was my experience, of course, and like some people are going to be rude because people are just rude, and I had bad experiences. I had people not be so kind to me, but I'll talk about that in a different thing. This is more about me talking about what it can be if you are alone, and you have to be alone and open to the community. And that's what I realized, because I wasn't in the beginning. And I remember he took me to go get a drink. He's like, "You're coming with us." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know." And he was like, "You're coming with us." And I was like, "Ah." So then I went, and very resistant. And they ended up being people that I saw for a long time. And we would always see each other, because I would leave super early, but I walked super slow. And then they would find me at the end, and then we would always go in together. And we ended up spending so much time together. And like, I ended up really opening up myself up to them. And it's crazy. Because I was very resistant in the beginning, and then I just let go, and I just was like, well, this is gonna happen. I keep seeing these people, and they keep seeing me, and we're somehow connecting, and God wills it, so it's just a little bit. I can't even really tell you what exactly I was talking about, but more of just my experience being a solo traveler, and how I try to make sure to balance my time alone and my time with people. And I always ate dinner with people, and I always made sure to see them and be kind and talk and listen if I felt something, if I felt led to the spirit to talk to this person or anything, And I found times alone. I'm very slow, so I felt very bad for a lot of the people who wanted to walk with me. But their patience and their kindness and their willingness to stay was an immeasurable gift, because I just could not understand. And this is one of my big lessons, that people actually wanted to be around me, and that people appreciated things about me, and that they saw me as good. And that was a very, as you can see, I'm a very emotional person. I'm trying not to cry during these, but to be seen as good was something just healing in a very deep, deep place. And to seen as kind and wanted, and loved, and it was a fraternal love, a brotherly, sisterly, father love, all kinds of love where I experienced and desire, and not in a bad way, just people wanted to be around me, and they wanted to know if I was okay. And then I know that I am like that for with other people, like people that care about me don't care about me. And it's funny, because I would tell that to them, and I would find people be like, "Oh my gosh, I've been like, so I've been thinking about you. Where are you? Where have you been? And they're just like, what the heck? Like, we've never even spoken before, but I was just like so committed to, like, I've seen these people, and you see the same people usually go at the same time. And I'm just like, how are you? I haven't seen you. Are you doing okay? And they're like, yeah. They're like, thanks for noticing. I'm like, well, we're together. We're family. And I said that a lot. I felt so bad. I felt like so many people found me just so annoying in that way. But it is a Camino family, and like your personality can fit in there. You just need to figure out what is the type of experience like you're hoping to have, right? And for me, it was very much personal reflection, but also a look for community, and I got that. So, yeah.